Hello there, how are you doing? Now in this video we're going to learn about abstract classes. Okay. Now after the abstract classes we will cover interface. So these two topics are they can get a bit confusing. They can get a bit hard to understand. So if you don't get it at first time, make sure to repeat. Okay. Don't give up. All right. So first, abstract classes. What are those? So let me explain a bit before diving deep into it. Okay, so you can extend from only one parent class each time. Okay, just like we did here. Customer extends from person. Now, it cannot extend from person and another few more of them. No, you can just extend from one. Okay, so that's a bit of a problem. So what if we want to make this hierarchic tree more complicated? Okay. For example, we can create children classes. That's another solution. Okay. So those children classes will extend from customer. Okay. So customer currently is extending from person, but we can go ahead and make some more other classes that will extend from customer. For example, basic customer and premium customer. Okay, so they will extend from customer. Currently customer is extend from person, but when basic and premium class also extend from customer, that means they get all the properties and method of customer, obviously because they extending from customer. But because customer is also extending from person, this tree gets extended. So as a result, those basic and premium classes extend from customer, but they will have access to the person class, whatever is defined in the person properties and methods, because customer is extending to person. From person to customer to basic customer to premium customer. That's how it flows. Okay, so you got that right. Now let's see it in practice. Okay, let's create, in fact let me show the sidebar. Inside domain folder, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create new folder customer. Okay, customer. Inside this folder, I'm going to create two files, basic. Okay, and then I create another one, and this one I call it premium. Okay. Now basic class, what it will have is, first of all we begin with PHP, then we give namespace. Now namespace, what we can do is go to book, let's copy this, go to basic namespace, let's paste that in. Now we need to add customer at the end, right? Okay, namespace bookstore domain customer, perfect. Now what we're going to do is, this class is going to extend to person, right? So what we can do is we can say use bookstore slash domain slash customer. Okay, so use that. Now if you notice, this is also extending from person, but we didn't say use. That's because this person and customer, they're in the same namespace, as you can see. That's why I didn't have to use. But because this basic is in a different directory, not on the same namespace, I had to use. Okay, great. Now let's create this class basic extends customer. Now when it extends, it gets all the properties and methods of customer as well as person, because customer is extending person. So what I can do is I can add some more methods here. Okay, add more methods. Okay, public function get monthly fee. Okay, so this is kind of a membership thing here. So basic customer, how much get monthly fee they will pay. If return, let's say 5. Okay, Now how much they can borrow. So let's do another one. Public function get amount to borrow. So how many books they can borrow. So they pay $5, and then public function get amount to borrow, return 3. Let's say 3. Okay, so that's great. Now let's create one more. Public function get type. This will simply return the string basic or premium, so public function get type, return basic. Okay, so this is our basic class. Okay, let's save this one. Now let's copy this and let's use this in premium as well. It's going to be pretty much similar. Okay, let me save this, close this, open it again. Okay, so this is all good. Class premium, class premium extends customer, public function get monthly fee. Now for the premium, let's charge more. Let's charge 10. Okay, and then public function get amount to borrow. They will get to borrow 10 as well because they're paying more. They get to borrow more, and then return premium. Awesome. So we got these two classes. They're extending customer. Okay, now let's head over to init.php and test things out. Okay, let me comment this out. That's done. Let's get rid of this as well. Okay, so we have the autoloader use, pretty simple. Let me hide the sidebar. Okay, so we got the new book, we got the customer. Okay, now what I'm going to do is very important and it can be confusing, so pay close attention. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a function. Okay, so this function will check if customer is valid to borrow the books. Okay, so let me write this function first. Function check if valid. Okay, and this will return customer get amount to borrow. Okay, if that is greater than or equals to the number of books, and we can use this count method. Okay, and then we pass the books. Okay, so this method, what it will return is it will return the customer amount to borrow greater than or equal to count. To borrow, we have this method in both basic and premium. Okay, so it will return the number. In the basic it will return 3, premium it will return 10. Okay, so how this function will work is we will type hint. Okay, we will type hint because this function need the customer first, right? So it needs the customer. It doesn't care whether it's basic or premium. It needs the customer. So we can use type hint the classes as well. Before we saw the type hinting like integer or string, but we can type hint the class as well. Okay, so customer and then customer. So we're referring to this customer class. Okay, and then the second argument is books. So this function will take the class, the customer class itself, and then it will return the result. Okay, the second parameter is books. So based on how many books is taken, now we can instantiate. So what we can do is we can var dom. We use this method. Again, inside this var dom we use this method, check if valid. We invoke this method. Now this method takes 2 arguments. As you saw, it takes the class. The customer is this one. The first customer is the new instance. Okay, that is the first argument. And then the second argument is books. So books Harry Potter, the books instance. Okay, let's take this one. Let's pass in here. Now let's save this one, and if you go and refresh the page, we will get an error. Okay, on-caught error, call to undefined method. The customer, in the customer domain, it doesn't find get amount to borrow method. Okay, so this check if valid fails. So why is that happening? The reason it's happening because the customer class does not know anything about this. The customer class doesn't have this get amount to borrow method, because this method is in the child classes. The basic and premium, they extend from customer, but they implemented this one. Customer doesn't know anything about this, right? The parent class doesn't know anything about this method. So when we type hint the customer, we get an error because the parent doesn't know. And this is not good because we don't want to depend on children to implement the methods and do all sorts of things. We want to control. We want this to flow from parent to children. Okay, and it is a problem because children components, what methods they are implementing, because when we in a bigger application we need to type hint. We can't go to basic, premium, and there might be more classes extending customer. We can't go digging deeper, it's going to be a mess. So what we would like to do is we would like to type hint the parent sort of class, so that all its implementation, all other classes that are extending to this one, such as basic, premium, or whatever, we don't have to worry about finding them out. We just type in the main class, and every other class that is extending this class will automatically be in control, right? So the only way we can do that is as a parent class, only if we can define such methods. We tell the children, okay, you want to extend from me, that's fine, but make sure you implement all these methods I tell you. Make sure you do it. So this class has to be like that. You can't let this the children let loose. They need more control. Okay, so that's when this abstract class, this concept comes in. The whole point is, as a parent class, you want to control, you want to make sure that the certain methods are implemented in your children component. You don't want to have all the code. For example, if you want to make sure your children, whoever will extend you want to make sure that they will have this method. For example, get amount to borrow, you want to make sure they have, but you don't actually want to have this exact code, the exact function definition inside of you. You don't want that. You just want to tell them the name of the function. You just make sure that you implement this, but you don't worry about the code. Okay, so that's when abstract classes comes in. Okay, so how do we begin implementing that? Using converting our customer class. Currently it is a normal class, but we need to convert it to abstract class and define certain abstract methods that are already implemented in the children components. They did it independently, but we have to define here as an abstract function, abstract method. Okay, so let's do that in the next lesson. It's been very long, and I know it's been quite long and might be confusing too, but this is a confusing thing anyway. Even when I was learning, it was confusing for me as well. So follow me on the next video, or maybe go through this same video one more time, but just make sure you get it. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video, and we will continue this one on the next video. Thank you.